Morning guys, welcome to my channel Rider Nata Motor Diaries. Today is day 15 and yesterday night we halted at Pang because as I said, one of my friend's bike broke down, so we had to tow it from Somoriri till Pang, and we waited there for some help a ride, but it was too late to move ahead, and that was the best decision because ahead it was the place was Sarchu and the temperature there was -8, so we met a lot of bikers there, so we decided to stay at Pang itself yesterday night. So we have left now. Plan is to reach Manali. It's a little bit difficult because of the ice at the Barlacha, so we'll try to make it. So let's catch you on the ride. Let's ride.
Day 15. Got up, had some coffee, and they checked is the tire okay. We then had to fuel up and got the fuel for 140 rupees per liter, the highest till now. The initial plan was to stop at Sarchu, then it became Jispa for breakfast, but soon we realized that it won't be possible as the road from Pang to the next 30 km was again in a very bad state, and it was as if every meter seemed to be a kilometer. Initially thought we have reached the highway, so the road will be good. It took hours for us to reach the Whiskey Nala after crossing Lachungla at 16,616 feet, and we had our breakfast there. The main struggle was till now we heard the difficulties to cross the Baralacha, and this road used to get closed due to snow, then open in few days. Similarly, when we started to ride from Mumbai, Baralacha was closed, so we changed the route and thought we would exit from Baralacha. We got a news after a few days that it had been opened. Then the very next day we got to hear that it was closed again. This kept on going and no one was in a mood to return through the same route again. After that we crossed Nakila, which is at 15,547 feet, and Gata Loops, which is at 21 hairpin bends. In few hours, we reached Sarchu. Here they stopped all the heavy vehicles and cars from proceeding, and only bikes were allowed to go. Now we were close to Baralacha, which was notorious. I didn't want to get stuck anywhere. My next task was to cross this pass first. So I didn't look back to see who all are following me, but almost I crossed this pass solo and waited for the rest to join me. It took more than 2 hours to cross it. Though only the bikes were allowed in the direction I was traveling, but trucks and cars were allowed from the opposite direction. There were hundreds of trucks at several intervals. At places, the road had only rocks on it. It was difficult to cross as those places would have uneven surface. When a truck arrives, we need to stick to the ice walls on our left. The whole road was carved out from ice on both sides. The ice wall was around 20 to 30 feet height at some places. Though I took some time to take photo wherever possible, and it was fun riding through the ice. But we have to be careful from black ice. It can skid your vehicle at any time. It was risky to drive at night, and due to this I might have seen at least 10 bikes at different places while crossing this pass, abandoned and left on the snow. That is because any issue to the bike due to excess snow, they leave it behind, and also few bumpers of the cars were lying around. That's due to the low ground clearance and highly uneven road here. I heaved a sigh of relief after crossing this notorious pass. By now 2 others reached me, rest were still behind. Saw some traffic here and thought that we would cross this traffic and wait for the rest. There was a water crossing in which a car was struck, leading to a pile of traffic on the opposite direction and less on our side. I waited for some time. The struck vehicle was removed, then I somehow made my way through the water crossing, only to find hundreds of trucks on the opposite side. We then managed to cut through the traffic and reach Zingzing bar, which was 7 kilometers from this crossing. We halted here and had some coffee, Maggie and chips and waited for the remaining people. Inside the small tent, people were watching India-Pakistan match. Time went by but we couldn't see any vehicle coming. We then met few guys who were coming from the Manali side. They said there are 2 to 3 water crossing and the water level is high, so be careful. As they were planning to cross Baralacha at night, I advised them it's not a good idea, take care and ride safe. We waited for 3 hours now. Then a JCB driver was going up to the water crossing to remove another vehicle. We told him if you find our friends then inform about us. In some time we could see few bikers coming down. We stopped them and asked about our friends and they said we saw few riders back stuck in the water crossing. So I sent Kunal 7 kilometers back to check what has happened, but he didn't return. In some time Prasad came down and said everyone is planning to halt there tonight and Kunal was so tired, so I came to inform you. So we went to Zingzing bar back 7 kilometers to the tents where the remaining riders were staying. After reaching the tent, we saw the tent owner had arranged a heater for us. So everyone sat around it to warm ourselves. Then I asked what made you guys to delay. They said there was a few trucks there, out of which the first one broke down, so the remaining truck had to wait behind it as there was no place to overtake. And in this line of trucks that the last one had parked in such a way that even a bike could not pass. Rest had parked properly. They had to fight with the truck driver for some time, and that some time was more than 1.5 hours, after which he gave way to the bikers. So they were stuck in the same place for 1.5 hours, and when Nitin saw a car coming from opposite direction, he stopped and gave way for it. There was ample of space. Even then the car came and hit Nitin, who was waiting in the side. He fell on the ground and his gear lever broke and a crack on the side panel. When they stopped the car, they didn't even know that they had hit a bike, and everyone including the driver was heavily drunk. So we sat inside the tent where other riders like us also halted. Everyone introduced. It suddenly started snowing now. Nitin told his ride story and the story about how army took care of them when they were stuck in the landslide in Turtuk. Then we got some hot rajma rice. After some time came to know that there is no washroom close by and everyone has to attend the nature's call in open. Some like me was little tensed as we don't have that experience, but thought that we will see that in the morning, then spent some time transferring the data and then went to sleep.